Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So we're going to continue the series of looking at Arcade1up mini cabinets. This is just a continuation of looking at some of these Arcade1up cabinets I've collected over the years. That's really just been sitting around. I realized we never covered them in the channel. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. On this channel, we generally cover arcade cabinets or arcade games. Newer things all the time, looking at new arcade games, new arcade cabinets, hooking them up, configuring them, getting new arcade boards and such. But I do realize there is a market for the Arcade1up series, and that some people enjoy these cabinets. So we're just going to go through several of them that we have here, give you some pros and cons, what to look out for, should you buy it, overall costs, and just go from there. So as we did before when we looked at the first arcade cabinet, we're just going to start off with size comparison. So this is a sit-down cabinet as far as the Arcade1up series. They do make risers. I have several risers, but for the purposes of today, we just got it sitting bare down. Just to give you a comparison, behind we have a Astro City candy cabinet. So you can see this one's just about a little bit lower than that one right there. If we compare it to the same size, coming to the other sides of the Noir cabinet from Namco, it's around the same size as far as height. So what does that mean? If you do have some candy cabinets and you got some stools already set up for that, it's going to be, this will work perfectly for it. You wouldn't have to get any new stools for that. Obviously, if you're standing up, you're going to be using the riser. That's going to add, guess what, 2 feet to it to make it a little taller as such. So starting off top, just as we talked about before, this is a Generation 1 Galaga cabinet right here. You have your speakers, one speaker right here. There was no light up marquee at this point in time, so it's all wooden there. Galaga, this one came with 2 games right here. So you have your wooden base right there and your wooden panel as such. Looking at the side art, coming on around, not bad side art, decent. Coming on around here, you have your Arcade1up logos and such right here, and your power adapter. As I said before, you do need to purchase, I should say, when you purchase these cabinets, you do have to assemble them yourself. So make sure you have some space to assemble. On average, I find that it takes around 25 minutes to assemble one of these cabinets. Once you get the flow for it, they all generally work the same. So not hard to do, but you do need some time to do it. Coming on around here, you're looking at some Samwa type clone button and buttons and joysticks there. For this game right here, it's one of the few ones I would say it suits the purpose, because simply you're just going left and right with Galaga. You only got one button. You got 2 players that can take turns and stuff like that. So let's power it on. I'm gonna boot up. So you have 3 settings here. On, medium, loud, if you want to call it loud, right there for your sound. And then you can go back and forth between your games. And press A to start. And then there you got your configuration screen. And then it's telling you to hold the player 1 button for 5 seconds to return to the menu to pick a different game if you wanted to do so. So Galaga is Galaga. Everyone's been playing that for years. Nothing's hard to figure out about that game. I would say as far as simply because of the notion of Galaga, you might not find a need to upgrade the the joystick simply because in Galaga you're just going left and right. It's not, you're not making quarter circles or anything like that. So it's one of the few Arcade1ups you might not be compelled to actually upgrade. And since you only got one button here, you may not feel the need to upgrade this button. So it's one of the few ones out there you may not feel the need to do any upgrades with it, which is a plus. So let's just get back to the main menu here. So this is Galaga right here, Generation 1 Arcade1up cabinet. Should you buy this cabinet? Well, it depends on if you just have a need and you felt you want to play Galaga and the other game that came with it, but you may not necessarily have a lot of space for a full-size Galaga cabinet. This is one of the few I would recommend getting. I would say, yeah, this is a good cabinet for what it does. It works pretty good. It's hard to mess up Galaga as far as the emulation, as far as the speed and everything else. You're just going back and forth and you're just hitting a button. So it was a good cabinet. How much should you pay it? I think when this cabinet first came out, it was around, let's just say $300-400, well, maybe $250, something like that. How much should you pay for it now? I would say $120 is probably fair for this cabinet. So I wouldn't pay more than $120 for this cabinet at this point in time. So yeah, some of the newer cabinets come with a protective plexiglass overlay that goes over here. So that would keep this part looking fresh and everything else. You can order those accessories from Arcade1up if you got a Generation 1 cabinet like I did. If you just wanted to get an overlay for it, you can order that stuff separately. But as with any of these Arcade1up cabinets, you always have to just be aware of hidden costs. For this one, simply because of the nature of the game, I don't think it's so much of a need to do much upgrades for it. Joystick, like I said, you're just going left and right, and you only got one single button. For the graphics of Galaga, it doesn't look as washed out as some of the other games. So once again, I think you'll be okay with not doing any upgrades. So that's good. A low base of entry, low maintenance as far as this cabinet, this particular cabinet is concerned. So I would say, like I said, 100, 125 max is fair for this cabinet. I wouldn't go much above that for this cabinet. But there you go. This is Galaga, Arcade1up. If you got any questions about it or anything else like that, feel free to post in the comment section and I'll get back to you. And as always, please like and subscribe, and I will talk to you all later.